A colleague once said to me, "If your goals don't scare you, they're not big enough." Chelsea War, sport performance expert. Aspire. Be bold. The biggest, boldest goals are not always evidence-based or set by experts. Evidence, by definition, is about the past. It is important, it can and should inform, but on its own can be a limiting factor. After all, if you are contemplating something no one has ever done before, then there can be no hard evidence. Meanwhile, the experts, while indispensable and sometimes the heroes of the story, often know too much about what might go wrong, so tend to err on the side of caution. At other times, as the saying goes, faith can move mountains where expertise cannot. In this secular age, this point is often missed, as the first accomplishment in practice illustrates. Mary Fisher's faith leads to an outrageous aspiration. Selby, South Yorkshire, might seem an unlikely place to look for an example of not just bold, but outrageous aspiration. But that is where Mary Fisher worked as an unknown servant to an unremarkable family. She was in her late 20s, living a wholly ordinary life, when a charismatic, itinerant preacher came by and everything changed. Her encounter with George Fox transformed the meaning and purpose of Mary Fisher's life. Fox was the founder of Quakerism, one of the many religious sects that had sprung up in the ideological ferment of the English Civil War. From the late 1640s, he wandered the country preaching what he fervently believed was a new and profound understanding of religion, that God and the way to live your life could not be found through following the rules and dogmas laid down in church by a minister, vicar, or priest. Rather, each person had to look within themselves. There was, he maintained, that of God in everyone. There was an inner divine light, and finding this within, following it in daily life and seeking it out in everyone you met, were the keys to a good life on earth and the path to salvation. From the vantage point of the early 21st century, it's easy to miss the revolutionary nature of this doctrine. First of all, it meant that to be truly religious required obedience to neither a church nor a creed. Each individual had to find that divine light within. Second, it meant that the formalities of a religious service were not required. Instead, Fox's followers congregated in silent meetings of worship in which everyone moved by the Spirit, women as well as men, could preach. This was truly the priesthood of all believers. As if the turning over of organized religion were not enough, there were also radical social implications. If there really was that of God in everyone, why should people of greater wealth or status be treated differently or better? Why should a poor man doff his cap to his master? And furthermore, why should anyone in court swear an oath on the Bible to tell the truth? Surely, if they were guided by the inner divine light, they would always tell the truth, whether in court or not. At a practical level, why pay tithes, a tax for the church? More radically still, if there really is that of God in everyone, then surely killing someone in war is to kill something of God. Hence, Fox and his early followers developed their peace testimony, which denied all outward wars and strife and fightings with outward weapons for any end or under any pretence whatsoever. Here, then, was a philosophy far too radical, not just for the monarchy, which had been overthrown in 1649, but also for the protectorate recently established by the Lord Protector Oliver Cromwell. For precisely the reasons the authorities could not tolerate it, Quakerism changed everything for Mary Fisher. Inspired by George Fox, she ceased to be a mere servant girl and became a human being infused with the divine light.